welcome back to my channel, Kings, Queens and Non-Binary Royals. Today is a little bit of a spontaneous video. I'm going to talk about one of the subjects that I love to talk about. Books. I love books, I love them in all kind, but today we're going to talk about epic fantasy because I think we all need a little bit of escapism. I know I do, and this is healthy escapism. At least that's what I like to tell myself. So I'm going to give you 5 of my favorite epic fantasy books. Journeys. It's like religion joke, but not really. So number 1, these are not in order of my favorite. Not in any way in order of my favorite. I don't think I could choose a favorite. I could probably choose what my least favorite of these 5 is. But first one is it's like backwards. Robert Jordan, The Wheel of Time. This series is so good. I don't know if he was like the inventor of this like epic fantasy series style thing, but this is book 2. I think there's like 18. I don't know how many there are of that because I haven't gotten that far. I'm only on like book 5, but this series has at least like 10 books, and Robert Jordan actually died, and Brandon Sanderson took over writing for him. Really good book. What we have here is story of, we have like dragons, we have witches, or like their version of witches, we have the orphan boy, we have the dragon reborn, who is a boy / man. He eventually becomes a man with a destiny. Of course, this is like the premise and plot of many epic fantasies. Young orphan boy or young bullied boy suddenly gains magical powers and is the like destined savior of the planet. So that is a grossly like simplified version of this book, but really like this book. I like the way that he tells stories, and I like the way that he portrays women. So yeah, Robert Jordan, The Wheel of Time, probably gonna be these are all my top ones, but this one is really special. Number two on the list is it's gotta be George R.R. Martin, A Game of Thrones. So I have been obsessed with Game of Thrones since the show came out. I was really young when the show came out. I think I was like 13 or 14, but it inspired me to read the first book, Game of Thrones, which is the first one. Nice cover as well. This is a nice cover. I tried to keep it as nice as I could, which is unlike me because I'm usually like tearing into books, bending the spine, writing in them. I'll write in all my books, like highlight my favorite parts. Total nerdy, but yeah, I love George R.R. Martin. Do not even get me started on the show's ending. That takes too long and it involves my blood pressure rising. But this is a great epic fantasy series, and it's worth the hype. I'm rereading it as of now. I'm on A Feast for Crows, which is book 4. Really good. Also great at writing women characters. Great at writing all characters, but great at writing. George is amazing at writing women characters. They're complex, they're dangerous, they're vibrant, they're sassy. Love it. That's a great one. What else do we have? So this one was one of the first ones I ever read of like fantasy, because before, the only fantasy I ever read was like Harry Potter, and I didn't put Harry Potter in this because I don't know if that's part of the same genre, and also I think Harry Potter is its own genre. Sorry, but it is. The Name of the Wind. The Name of the Wind. It's backwards, but The Name of the Wind. Patrick Ruthfuss. Okay, really enjoyed this. I enjoy anything with magic. Like anything with magic. And this is another story of orphan boy gets magical powers, or like, they're not magical, but they're kind of magical. Is destined. He's not so much destined as the Dragon Reborn, but he is, Kavoth is like, in the start, oh, it's so delicious. He basically lives this incredible life and becomes like a myth because of his like powers and skills, and tries to forget it all at age 30. I'm not going to spoil anything in case you want to read it, but really good. I love magic, and I love anything that hints at a world full of magic. And this one is laced, I tell you, with magic. Really good. This is all from the perspective of a boy, so female characters not really present because he's a boy in it, and he's just like, he has other things to think of in this first book than women. Fair. I loved this book so much that I actually wrote to Patrick Ruthfuss, and I was like, sent him this big like letter about how amazing I thought the book was and how I read it like 4 times. This was when I was 16. And he actually responded to me with a postcard, a written postcard. And the postcard had the drawings of all the characters within it. Amazing. I'm still waiting on book 3. Like the King Killer Theory 3, I think it's called. The King Killer Trilogy. And that trilogy, I've been waiting for number 3 for 10 years, Patrick. 10 years. Okay, these are all done, all written by men. I'm sad to say. But Peter V. Brett, The Painted Man. I don't know if these are like typical choices or anything, but these are just like my favorite ones. This is really good too. We got magic here. We got demons. More like good and evil. Got heaven and earth. Action. Less magic than Name of the Wind, but more like demons. Lots of darkness in this. Like literally this sentence says, enter a world where darkness belongs to demons. So that really is, that's just the first sentence on the cover. So yeah, really good. If you like action scenes, if you like fighting, fast paced. Like there's not really much of a slow burn with this. You know, Game of Thrones, Robert Jordan, that's a slow burn. That's all. You got politics and all those. There's no politics in this, just fighting, which is good. This also has like six books. Probably, I think maybe 7. That's also really good. Last but definitely not least is The Way of Kings. This one is a bit like more raggedy. I even put like a cover, like see, like read this a lot. It's my sister's. It belongs to my sister, but she was the one that made me read this, and it's phenomenal. Like Brandon Sanderson, The Way of Kings is phenomenal. He was the guy that finished Robert Jordan's series, and this book is amazing. It is. I couldn't put it down. I couldn't not put it down. And it's huge. It's huge, and I just couldn't wait to eat it. I devour all of his books, including the Mistborn series. That's from the perspective of a girl. Also, really writes amazing female characters, like really real. The fight scenes are amazing. It's got magic in it. I'm a big fan of magic, as I've said. So, if you like fantasy and you haven't heard, you have to have, but if you haven't, you've got to read Brandon Sanderson, The Way of Kings. So there you have it. That is 5 of my favorite. Hold on, I'll pop them up here. Hope you enjoyed.